see you shine in the night like a diamond you are.
Hey guys, it's Diamantis here. Today I'm going to be talking about my school, Uconn. I know that I'm pretty sure they sent this weekend the acceptance letters for Uconn, so I really just wanted to make this video to kind of help future potential Huskies to kind of just figure out the climate around here, what's going on, and a couple things that I wish that I knew when I came to Uconn. That's correct. So, long story short, I transferred to Uconn last year. So this is my second year at Uconn. I transferred as a sophomore. I spent my first year at another school because I never thought Uconn was an option for me. And it was just really big and it scared me. And I did not think I was ready or responsible enough to go to Uconn. And I never actually been there. And for me, I saw that Uconn was where I needed to be. So I ended up applying. Obviously got in because I go here now. And yeah, so long story short, here are the tips that I wish I knew coming to Uconn. Tip number 1. I have no idea how many tips there are going to be. Didn't number them, but it's fine. Okay. Be weather prepared. Uconn is ridiculous with the weather. It rains very, very often. I'm pretty sure for like fall semester, I think it literally rained for over a month. That was not okay. So I would definitely invest in a really good pair of rain boots / like snow boots, like all weather boots. So like some bean boots, those are really common here. I would also invest in a jacket that's like all weather jacket. Umbrellas. So it's very windy up here and I would just definitely recommend if you're gonna use an umbrella, you need to get one of those dome umbrellas that really are wind resistant, because so often you'll just end up putting up your hood and just charging to class because the wind does not let you keep your umbrella. Another tip for the weather is I have had my backpack literally get so soaked because Uconn is pretty big. It takes about 15-20 minutes to walk across, depending where you are. Probably like, it could take a little bit longer than that. It might start to rain really, really hard and your backpack could potentially get soaked. So this happened to me one time and all my books and stuff got wet and my computer almost got wet, which is really not good. So if you could maybe invest in like a little weatherproof computer case for your computer. My computer case is pretty thick, so it worked well. Like my laptop itself did not get wet, but like the case itself was really wet. So maybe like a weather thing, or what I've seen some people do is get like a plastic bag, or if they sell this, I don't know if they do, like a plastic cover for your backpack, or I'm sure that they have water resistant backpacks. So that might be a really good idea. Don't get a backpack just because you think it's cute or whatever. Like, you're gonna be trudging to class, and sometimes if your dorm is far away, you're not gonna wanna keep going back and forth from class to your dorm to bring your books and your notebooks or whatever you need. So make sure your backpack really works. Okay, my next tip is wait until the first of classes to buy your books. Some people might disagree with me on this. It really depends on your situation. But some professors, I'm pretty sure they're required to put a book because like they want to make money or whatever. I'm pretty sure you're required to put a book for the class even though you might literally not use it, like at all. So I would wait till the first day, wait for you to get your syllabus, see if there's actually assigned readings from the syllabus. Then if so, then you get your book. But I've even had times where there are assigned readings in the syllabus and they ended up explaining it all in class anyway, and I really did not need to get the book. I've spent like upwards of $100 on books that I never opened because I did not have to. So maybe ask around, did we actually use the book? And if not, don't get the book. Don't do it. You know how much blaze you could buy with that book? Okay, so next tip that I have is get involved. Getting involved in Uconn is so important because it's a pretty big school And because it's a big school, you kind of need to find your own place. If you're not finding your own place, then that's going to be really hard for you, and you're not really going to have that support system that you need while you're here. Because, you know, you're away from your family, you're away from your friends from home. It's really important to just establish those relationships. And a really good way to do that is to meet people outside of parties and stuff by meeting them doing something you really love, like a club or intramural sport, anything like that. Because I feel like those relationships are really strong because you have something in common that you like to do together. The involvement fair is every semester. If you're coming into the fall semester one is personally my favorite involvement fair. It's outside and it's really nice and everyone's just so excited, and fall semester is always so exciting because everyone's back home, got a nice break over the summer, and we have basically so many clubs and organizations that are at the involvement fair. If you're specifically interested in something, you can look up that organization on Uconn, and they'll have something called a Ucontact page, which is basically says like their email and stuff like that, because not all clubs get to go to the involvement fair because it's so huge and we have so much more clubs and organizations than we could possibly fit into one fair. And also, like, some clubs like to be really low key, so they're not really looking for like that new member thing. They're looking for people to reach out to them. So if you're really interested in something and it's not in the involvement fair, just reach out to them. That's probably what they want. They want dedicated people who went out of their way to look out. Another tip. So Uconn is really big, like I said before, but that is not necessarily a bad thing. That can be a really good thing. Just because Uconn is big does not at all mean that you're gonna get lost, your professors aren't gonna know you. If you make yourself known, you're gonna be known. That's it. Some good ways to do that are maybe like sit at the front of the class. You don't have to sit all the way in the front, but like that general area. If you're nervous about the big lecture halls and the big classes, just note that usually those are in the beginning. So I think the first semester at Uconn is the hardest. That's when I was the most overwhelmed. And that's okay. Like, you're gonna walk, potentially if you're a STEM major or taking like an intro to business course or economics course, you're gonna end up being in one of those big lecture halls in the beginning. I did not think at all I was gonna like those, but now I do not mind them. If you sit in the front of the classroom, it feels smaller, but if you sit all the way in the back, the top of the balcony, you might have a hard time, from my personal experience. But your classes do get smaller as you get into your major. I know some people that have classes of just 3 or 4, which is like really, really small. So far, I think my smallest class has been about 20, but like I said, I'm just getting into my junior year officially, so it really just depends. But my classes definitely are smaller. They're not as big as my intro courses at all. Another thing is, because your classes are big, that can potentially motivate you not to go. So go to class, please go to class. The only way it's okay if you don't go to class is, because I do it, we all don't go to class sometimes, is if you are okay in the material. If you're getting A's on your exams, fine. Obviously, you're doing a great job of teaching yourself the course, and you don't have to necessarily go, but just remember, the professor is getting paid whether or not you go or you don't go, whether or not you pass or you fail. They still got your money. So make sure that you're passing those classes, because that's so unfair to waste thousands of dollars on a class. A really good tip that I do is I actually put my classes back to back to back, because if I miss one, then that means I miss all of them. That's such a pain. If you're missing all your classes, then you're gonna miss so much work, and odds are you're gonna have at least 2 classes that you really, really enjoy. So by putting those classes next to the ones that you might not like as much, then you end up going to class more often to the ones that you don't like, and it's just an easier way to motivate yourself to go. On the note of classes, let's talk about Uconn majors. Uconn has a lot of majors. I don't know how many, but I know it's like 100 or 200, something like that. It's a lot. you do not have to know your major right away. Obviously, you have to apply in a certain major, and that's fine. Like, if you have a major that you're not sure about, that's 100% okay. No one has to have it figured out right now. You should start worrying probably like junior year-ish when you're about to graduate, because then your gen eds are done and you gotta start picking something. What I personally have to say about majors, I changed from an environmental science major, now I'm political science and economics. You do not have to major in STEM. This is my #1 thing. Had I been told that from the beginning, maybe I would not have come here my first semester, taken my GPA, trying to do STEM, realized that I really hate it and I did not want to do it at all. And maybe I would have started with political science and economics from the beginning. Don't let anyone tell you that your major is stupid, you're not gonna get a job, whatever. You are gonna figure it out. If you're truly passionate about something, you're gonna like get a job in it. Make sure that you're majoring in something that you love, because I see too many people majoring in things for the money and just like doing whatever business for the money, and they don't end up happy, you know? They end up working that for like a couple years and then they're like, why did I do this, you know? So please do what makes you happy. Uconn is doing a really big, huge push for STEM right now, and that's great. Like, of course we want to have people do STEM. And if STEM is your thing, don't at all take what I'm saying like personally. Do STEM. Like, if you love STEM, do STEM. Don't let anyone tell you not to do STEM or to do like a social science or whatever else, or do business or whatever. If you love doing research or you love whatever it is that you're studying, study it. Whether that be STEM or not STEM, I'm just saying it's okay to be both. And you do not have to be an engineer, you do not have to be a mathematician. It's okay to study history, it's okay to study English if that's what you want to do. On that note, also, do not ridicule others who have a different major than you. Uconn's engineering program is great, such a great program. Not at all taking away from that, but just because you're good at math and physics doesn't make you better than anybody else. Sorry. Like, I know that might be a little tough to swallow for some people, but you're good at that and I just happen to be good at different things. There's nothing wrong with that. We have different talents. Doesn't matter. Do not say, oh my gosh, you know, my major is so much harder than yours, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter? No. If you're passionate about what you're doing, then it shouldn't be that hard. That's all I'm saying. Done with that point. Sorry, I had to twist myself. On another note, if you do change your major, do it with caution, unless it's within the same school. Then knock yourself out, do what you want. But for example, I was environmental science, that's in the College of Agriculture, Health, and Natural Resources. And political science is in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. So I actually took the time to do some poli-sci courses and was still an environmental science major, even though I wasn't taking any environmental science classes at all, just to make sure that it's what I really wanted to do. Because the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is the only college that you do not have to apply to get in. For the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, literally all you have to do is fill out like a little thing online and it changes your major automatically. However, the other schools you have to apply. Engineering school you have to apply, business school you have to apply, College of Ag you have to apply to them. So do not risk losing your spot in your old college if you're not sure that you want to switch or even like leave that college. Because for example, like if I was in the College of Ag and I was really into environmental studies, which is in CLAS, I think they have one in College of Ag too, but say I wanted to do the CLAS one, I probably would have just stayed in the College of Ag, maybe tried out the College of Ag Environmental Studies instead of switching out into CLAS. So just, if you're gonna change majors, make sure that you are paying attention to what school they're in. And some schools are, like I said, like more work to get into than others. Like you need minimum GPA requirements and stuff. whereas the CLES, you don't need anything. Yeah, just make sure you're paying attention to what school your new potential major might be in. On that note, Uconn is hard. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of work at the end of the day. It's a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie. Transferring here was a big culture shock because at Uconn, since it is bigger, at the end of the day, like I said, the professor doesn't care whether you pass or fail if you're not making the effort. Whereas like in Eastern, I would see like if someone wasn't coming to class or whatever, they would call you and they would email you and be like, hey, just want to check if everything's okay, blah, blah, blah. There's not that hand-holding here, which can be good for some people and can be bad for some people. I thought it was gonna be bad for me, but I actually stepped up to the plate. So you also you need to be sure which one you fall into, because you never know what you're capable of, honestly. You're gonna get to times where you're just like so frustrated, you don't know what to do. Your classes are gonna make you angry sometimes, your professors are gonna make you mad sometimes. It happens, you know. But just keep doing you, just keep doing your work, and just trudge through, trudge on. And with that, please make sure you're doing self-care, because it can get really stressful and overwhelming. Like I said, getting involved, that does not always have to be like an academic club. It can be something really fun. Like I think we have like a bunch of interesting clubs here, like cannoli club, there's like pottery club, I think there's a Super Smash Bros club. So it's really like whatever you're into. If you're into something, just find it. I'm sure there's a club for it, and if there isn't a club for it, you can make it a club yourself, as long as you find like, I think like you need like 5 or 6 people to do it with you, and you can make it a club officially. So yeah, please make sure you're taking care of yourself. Another tip about Uconn, and this has to do with the actual location of the school itself. Uconn is in the middle of nowhere. And like, we're in Connecticut. So like for us to say in the middle of nowhere, like Uconn's like in the middle of nowhere, because like Connecticut doesn't really have much going on. You guys already know. But like literally, Uconn has everything is 30 minutes away. Except for Store Center, Chuck's Margarita Grill, the bars, and farms. Literally, farms. So if you need that city atmosphere, I would not probably recommend Uconn, just because they don't always have what you want here. So like getting a car would probably be what you need to do if you're really active and you always want to go out. But with that in mind, also is Uconn, you don't always have to go out. It's not a school where everyone leaves on the weekends and goes home. I was like shook when I came here in the first place and people were still here on the weekends, because Eastern is very much a commuter school. Your friends will be here. They'll be here. You guys can hang out all weekend, do what you gotta do. On that note, if you want to get out of here, it's 30 minutes away. 30 minutes away at least before you start to hit the fun stuff. That's not farms. But on the note, Uconn really tries to do a lot for their students. There's usually stuff going on, you know, there's things to do. But if you're used to those city-like things to do, like always going out to eat at a different place, going to maybe like an art museum, going to like pop-up shops, events, stuff like that, not really as much of a thing here. There's food, but it's a very common, same like 20-ish places, but it is good. Dog Lane is my #1. I'm not even gonna lie. If you're coming to visit Uconn, go to Dog Lane. Have their chili. I get vegetarian chili. It is so good. And they put like these little chips in there, and they're like chili flavored chips and regular chips, and then they put cheese. It's so good. Get Dog Lane. It's all fresh produce. If you're a vegan, vegetarian, whatever, they got you. It's like Panera Bread if Panera Bread was so much better. Like the best Panera Bread you could ever have in your life. best soups, best sandwiches, go to Dog Lane. That's all I gotta say. Or Blaze, because the Blaze, if you're from Connecticut, the Blaze in New Haven is not as good as the Blaze that we have here. The Blaze we have here is the best one. And if you're going to Blaze, get a s'more pie, tell them to warm it up in the oven, you will not regret it. Sorry, that was my little food tangent. I think that's all the advice that I had for Uconn. Overall, like, you're gonna be okay. Uconn is a great place to go to school. It has really good academics, and I would recommend 100%, even though I'm such a pain and I'm like, there's nothing to do. There's stuff to do. I'm just personally over the weather, but that's me. If you love New England weather, Uconn is for you. And it also helps you realize stuff about yourself as well, because I didn't even realize I didn't like New England weather. I've lived in Connecticut my whole life. I didn't even realize I didn't like New England weather until like I came to Uconn, and I was like, wow, like I'm really done. I just want to move to California. It's fine. But yeah, so those are my tips. If you have any questions, please reach out. Make sure to comment on the bottom if you have anything else that you want to know. I would not mind making a follow-up video of any questions that potential Huskies have. If you have questions about the residence halls, the food, the whatever, I don't know, whatever you have questions about, please reach out to me. I would love to do a video on that. If you want to check out my channel for some more stuff, I'm gonna be posting more often. I swear, it just, when the semester started, it literally just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was not ready. I was not ready. I have exams every week until April. Okay, I'm sad. I just want to go home. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I wish you guys all the best luck on finding your future college, your future home. Please don't stress. It all works out in the end. I was totally stressed out when I was going into college my first year. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, transferring is really not bad at all. If you guys want a video on transferring, I would also love to do that. I could do a transfer video on my experience on transferring to Uconn, or also just some tips for transferring in general. Please just write in the comments below. So anyways, have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
It feels better than